Hi, I'm Karen Perez, Chair of Hillsborough County School Board. I want to welcome you to Hillsborough County Public Schools, a donde servimos más de 200,000 de tus estudiantes. That includes children in preschool and adults through our workforce program.
I'm Nadia Combs, the school board's vice chair. Our district is the 7th largest in America, and our team is made up of 24,000 people working at close to 250 sites across the county.
Our district is diverse and dedicated. Our board meetings are held in our board auditorium on select Tuesdays at 4 p.m. The best way to serve our students and our community is to involve you, the public, in what we do.
You are welcome to meet or email any of our board members and follow our district on social media. School board meetings are covered live by Hillsborough Schools TV on Spectrum 635 and Frontier Channel 32.
Meetings are also streamed live on our website at hillsboroughschools.org. Closed captioning is provided on all broadcasts, and past meetings are available in our online archive.
We are interested in what the public has to say. We'll include time for audience comments before we address our business items. Our agenda and any supporting materials can be viewed online in advance. They are posted 7 days before each meeting on our website at hillsboroughschools.org.
Our vision is preparing students for life, and that means all students every day. Thank you for your commitment to education. With your help, we're making decisions that shape our community's future.
The board meeting of February 24, 2026 is called to order. Member Combs will now lead us in a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. Please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Now please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Check out those glasses. Van, new color.
Thank you, Member Combs. Will you please acknowledge our student entertainment?
Yes, thank you, Chair Press. I'd like to thank Crestwood Elementary's World Drumming along with Principal Diana Sanchez and Director Nathaniel Strawbridge. These wonderful students entertained us prior to the start of our board meeting. At this time, we'd like to invite the students to come up and introduce themselves. All of you did a wonderful job.
Hi, my name is Jackson and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Jonas and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Rob Neal and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Sarah and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Nino and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Mia and I'm in 5th grade. Hi, my name is Melina Chirina. I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Marianne. I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Carla and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Emily and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Jade Elise and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Melody and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Farah and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Jalen and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Hannah and I'm in 1st grade.
Hi, my name is Addie. I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Casey. I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Jenna Lisa and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Alex and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Yemi and I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Alberto. I'm in 5th grade.
Hi, my name is Emma and I'm in 5th grade.
Hello, I'm Diane Sanchez, a proud principal of Crestwood, and I did graduate from Hillsborough County Schools. I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of my students, and great job, guys. Great job. Thank you for having us here.
My name is Nathaniel Strawbridge, Mr. Strawbridge, and I'm not in 5th grade. Just
Me
kidding.
neither.
Oh, but I am a part of the best school district in the state of Florida. I'm a part of the best music community in the nation, I'm going to have to say. And a part of the best school in the world. I've been at Crestwood for 23 years. I love Crestwood. I love our students. And I love the opportunity for us to come up and share, not just playing instruments, but what they have developed as a passion in their lives, as an avenue for potential growth beyond just elementary school, right? Because our job is to prepare students for what? Who said that? Huh? $20 for you. We're preparing students for life. These are life, not just skills, but these are life abilities that make you who you are, a human being. And so I'm so happy and glad that we have the support of you so we can continue to create complete human beings in the educational system. And I'm going to keep doing my job, and we appreciate you doing yours. Thanks for having us.
Y'all can move. We don't bite.
Great parental participation. That's good. That's good. Yeah. That's great.
Yes, this is our biggest crowd of parents ever.
I know.
Yay.
All right.
Y'all did a great job.
Well done.
Great job.
Be playing in middle school, right?
Yeah.
And thank you, parents, for showing up and bringing your children. Thank you. It's great to see the parents' participation.
Good job, President. Good job.
My high school principal that really.
She was our student assistant.
I need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda. I have a motion by Member Gray and a second by Member Combs. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Please let the record reflect that all board members are present with the exception of Member Vaughn. We have one set of minutes to approve today, February 10th, school board meeting. I need a motion and a second to approve the minutes. I have a motion by Member Combs and a second by Member Gray. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Board members, I would like to go over the format of today's meeting. As a reminder, we are a nonpartisan board who believe all children can be empowered to learn, succeed, and our decisions will be made with that understanding. To pave the way for efficient agenda statements and questions, board members will have 5 minutes to speak with 30 seconds for final thoughts. Afterward, the superintendent can respond. If you have further questions, you're asked to get back in the queue. Member Combs will now read the board guidelines.
Thank you, Chair Perez. As we begin this afternoon's meeting, please allow me to quickly review the format of our school board meetings. Please silence all electronic devices. There are speakers in the room behind me that allow board members to hear the meeting upon stepping away from the dais. The meeting can be viewed with closed captioning on live webcast, on cable TV, and on video monitors here in the auditorium. It also can be viewed with closed captioning in the online video archive.
Thank you, Member Combs. We have 2 items scheduled for a time certain, 5:01 p.m. board hearing on adoption of revised policy, and 6 p.m. employee and student input. Today we have recognitions, AO1 recognition of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Best Crew Award. And Brian Ford At this time, we would like to call up Sherry Bollinger, Supervisor of Philanthropy and Special Programs.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, board members, superintendent, cabinet members, and guests. The Bucks Best Crew program, supported by our amazing partner, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, recognizes remarkable Hillsborough County Public Schools teachers, administrators, and support staff for their outstanding service, overall impact on students, and accomplishments beyond the classroom. We are honored to have Brian Ford, Chief Operating Officer of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, here today to announce this month's reward recipients.
Well, good afternoon, Madam Chair, Board, Superintendent, and thank you for that warm welcome. Yes, I'm back, and another exciting month and unbelievable nominations, and we're going to talk about some unbelievable people in the district that have gone over and above. In recognition of that, we have the tradition on behalf of the Glazer family and our entire organization. I am excited to hand away some game balls, but before that, I just wanted to mention last week we had a very exciting event over at One Buccaneer Place. We had our preseason classic, and we had over 130 teams from all over the state of girls, and there's a picture up there that just represents some of the finest in Hillsborough County, but over 3,000 athletes. And they were there all week, Monday through Friday, and just the performance. And again, this kind of translates into our mission to kind of bring women into sports and girls into sports and to find some leaders and to develop. Our goal is 50,000 female leaders throughout the power of sport. And this was our 8th annual preseason classic. And next week, on March 6th and 7th, Friday and 7th, we're having our She Is Football. And there's a QR code, and I'd love to get that information out to all the student body, the families, just to kind of celebrate women and girls in sports. There's going to be a career summit on Friday at the stadium itself, and then we're having a 5K run, and that's going to be throughout the stadium and into our facility. So what an experience for families to come. There's even just a mile walk if you just want to come out and walk. But it's going to be a market and festival with women-owned businesses in our indoor facility, and then 8 of the top schools in the state in girls flag football will be participating in our big She Is Football Flag Invitational, and 4 of those schools are being represented from here in Hillsborough County. So very excited about that, and I just wanted to kind of kick that off there. But with that, let's get to the real fun reason why I'm here, and that's to recognize some of the most outstanding professionals in our district. So I love your shirt, by the way. How about that? Come on down here. This is Darkus Portis, paraprofessional from Lomax Magnet Elementary School. Welcome. What I'm about to read is not coming from me, but it's coming from your peers, your administration, and your students and their families. So this is unbelievable. There's definitely support on why you're joining us as part of our Bucks Best Crew Award. You are an extraordinary example of dedication, service, and heart. You are a VPK paraprofessional, and you're consistently going above and beyond in every role that you serve. As a Lomax employee, a devoted parent, and a true champion for the school community. This is amazing here. Your leadership and commitment are evident in the countless ways you support and uplift our students, families, and staff. You play an instrumental role in leading and organizing meaningful school-wide events, including the Hispanic Heritage Month and the Black History Month, ensuring that our students experience rich celebrations that honor culture, history, and community. You generously volunteer your time with the robotics team and actively recruit community support to expand learning opportunities for our students and their families. Through your efforts, you've welcomed the New World Reading Program, which is remarkable, and inspiring guest speakers, including archaeologists from Tallahassee and Germany, bringing real-world learning directly to our students. And then this is the real kicker. As president of the PTA board, president, where you find all the time to do all this, I don't know. You lead with passion and purpose, strengthening the connection between our home and school. You're admired, you're loved, and you're respected by both the students and staff for your unwavering support and positive spirit. Congratulations. And for that, I'm proud and humbled.
Yay. Nice. Yay. That's so nice. Yay. Yay.
All right. Unbelievable. Now, Monica Chapa from Junta Elementary School, or middle school.
Middle school, yes, sir.
Yes, and I love the Buck Red as well.
Yes.
Again, these comments are not coming from me, or, this is coming from the people that you affect and you inspire each and every day.
Yes, sir.
You're an exceptional civics teacher whose dedication to support students is evident in every aspect of your work. You're constantly giving instruction and support and challenging your learners, creating an engaging and academically rigorous classroom environment. I like that, where students thrive. Your impact is measurable and meaningful, even increasing civic scores across the board, and we all like that. Beyond instruction, you're a valuable multilingual asset to the school community. You regularly provide translation support for the morning show, ensuring those kids have that opportunity, and ensuring inclusion for all families. Your ability to break down language barriers has been especially impactful in supporting the school's large Hispanic student population. By fostering clear communication, cultural understanding, and strong relationship, you ensure that every student feels seen, heard, and empowered to succeed. In addition, this is another one over and above, you manage the school's social media presence and creatively and professionally effectively showcasing the outstanding work happening across your campus. Your passion, versatility, and dedication make you invaluable. That's coming from everybody that you affect. Congratulations, and on behalf of the Glazer family, entire organization, thank you for what you do. All right, now, last but definitely not least, come on over here. Congratulations and thank you. Thanks for all that you do every day. Brooklyn Calloway, Assistant Principal, Williams Middle Magnet School. Again, this is coming from your peers, your faculty, your students, and their families. You truly represent the spirit of the Buccaneers' best crew, and after reading, I understand why. As an assistant principal, you go far beyond the expectations for your role. You've been described as the strongest AP colleague anyone could ever ask for. That's a comment, huh? And those who work alongside her know exactly that that's the absolute truth. During a significant leadership transition, when new administrators stepped into an unfamiliar territory, you became the anchor of the campus. You anticipated needs before they were voiced. You shared context without being asked and made sure that your colleagues felt grounded and supported from day one. Team player. That's what we're all about. In challenging moments, whether navigating complex student situations or managing unexpected campus issues, you remain calm, solutions-focused, and centered. You show tremendous wisdom beyond your age, and your presence brings confidence to those around you. These are unbelievable comments. You're the heartbeat of the school's culture. From getting students each morning to major events, you create an environment where students and staff feel valued and seen. Your positivity is genuine, your work ethic is unmatched, and your commitment to delivering an authentic IB experience is evident each and every day. Thank you. Congratulations for this recognition. Much deserved. And again, right, now you come up here. Oh, I'm not trained by the team photographer. Well, let's just do one. Oh, this is on video. Oh, hit the little button. We'll see you before spring break, right? Thank you.
Thank you always, Mr. Ford. Now, recognition, AO2, recognition of the Tampa Bay Times newspaper in Education Week, March 2nd through the 6th, 2026. And Member Combs will highlight this item.
Thank you, Chair Perez. The recognition of Tampa Bay Times Newsweek and Education Week, March 2nd through March 6, 2026. The American Press Institute has partnered with the Tampa Bay Times and Hillsborough County Public Schools to celebrate the development of lifelong readers and support literacy instruction by providing educational resources to our schools, teachers, and students during the week of March 2nd through March 6, 2026. Newspapers in Education, NIE, is an international literacy initiative that empowers students by using newspapers, both print and digital, as real-world learning tools. Often referred to as the living textbook, NIE brings current events, real-world issues, and diverse perspectives into the classroom. Using newspapers in instruction supports reading comprehension, vocabulary development, critical thinking, and civic engagement across all grade levels and content areas. NIE has provided more than 10 million e-newspaper licenses and nearly 200,000 print copies of the Tampa Bay Times to Tampa Bay classrooms, strengthening literacy through real-time, relevant content. NIE supports Hillsborough County teachers and students at 251 schools with lesson plans, educator workshops, original educational publications, and digital tools, all provided at no cost to schools, teachers, or families. Research shows that students who engage with newspapers, whether in print or online, are more likely to develop strong reading habits and become lifelong self-motivated learners. Hillsborough County Public Schools is proud to recognize Newspaper and Education Week, March 2nd and March 6, 2026, and the ongoing work of the Tampa Bay Times Newspaper and Education Program. This recognition honors the important mission of NIE and highlights the meaningful impact it has had on academic excellence in our schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Member Combs. Now we're going to move on to public comment. The board welcomes comments from citizens and values your input to the board. In order to provide the most comprehensive response to your comments, our staff will follow up with you and will keep our board informed about the responses. Our school board respects the public's right to speak to the board, and we appreciate you taking your time to be here. You have the right to speak about any issue you like, and you will not be interrupted. However, any behavior intended to interrupt the orderly conduct of this meeting will not be allowed. We do request that you try to focus on the issues. When addressing the board, please state your name and speak clearly into the microphone. This afternoon, each speaker will have 3 minutes. A reminder that your 3 minutes start when you begin speaking. When there are 30 seconds left, you will see a yellow light on the lectern and you will hear a chime. A red light and a chime will indicate when your time is up. I will now call up the first 6 speakers.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Ellen Lyons, and in 2023, I served on the Finance Advisory Committee created by this school district. At today's board meeting, the board will consider changing your fiscal planning policy. The proposed changes to the fiscal planning policy would require this district to sequester and not spend 7% of the general fund and 10% of per pupil funding that this district generates each year. Florida law only requires that this number be 3%. And in prior policies, this district has used 5%, but even found that that number was unrealistic in emergencies. The proposed policy change will affect how much the school board can spend on educating our students. HCPS currently receives about $9,100 per student per year, and our district by law has to hold some of that back. And currently, it's only 3%, and now you want to increase it, not you, but this policy would increase it to 10%. Now, while increasing the money that this district cannot spend might sound like financial stewardship, such a policy makes little sense in our current financial environment. Our district is so thinly capitalized that being able to spend only 90% of our annual per pupil funding on educating students in any given year is going to cause even more strain to our system. The proposed policy, in my mind, is the opposite of fiscal responsibility because it's not flexible and because the money doesn't follow the child. It doesn't allow for the enhancement of student education in the same academic year as it was paid from the state to our district. In fact, PTAs are encouraged not to carry over large sums of money into future years, precisely because parents want the money spent on students who are in the school at the time that the money is raised. The same should be true for our school district. The last paragraph of the proposed fiscal planning policy 6210 would not only give the district less flexibility in how it spends money on students, but it also makes it clear that the money can't be used to pay teachers more, even during a time when we have a crisis in getting educators into the profession. Increasing the amount of money that this district does not spend on education in any given year and keeping that money from being spent on teacher salaries seems counter to the mission of the school board. Thus, please send the proposed fiscal planning policy back to the drawing board for some more edits. Also, I want to note that one of the things that concerns me about that last line of the proposed policy is that it talks about weather emergencies and things like that, but our teachers are in emergencies. There are teachers living in an extended housing or other. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Sue Batiglieri, and I'm a parent of 2 young children at Dobie Elementary, and I'm here today to continue the discussion about the need for a K-8 public school in the South Shore area and my support for Dobie to expand. Like so many families here, we choose this community because of its schools. We choose it because we believe our children would be supported, challenged, and known, not just as students, but as people. Our community is growing rapidly, and we are seeing that growth in real time. Since the beginning of the school year, Dobie has enrolled more than 90 new students, and 40 of them enrolled since January. While Dobie may have started the year at around 71% capacity, today it's closer to 78%. Our community stands out as one of the few in the areas experiencing sustained enrollment growth at a time when other areas are seeing declines. This matters because growth brings opportunity, but only if we plan for it. We truly appreciate the district acknowledging this growth and adding a new elementary school water set G to the 5-year work plan. That step shows foresight, and we are grateful for it. At the same time, I urge the board to keep this future school on the plan, to consider the middle school growth that is already happening, and to think about how we plan for both together. Along with growth, we continue to hear a clear message from families. There is strong interest and demand for K-8 school options. Families are drawn to K-8 models because they offer continuity, fewer transitions, long-term relationships with teachers and staff, a sense of belonging that doesn't reset every few years. Parents watch their children thrive in elementary school and worry about having to move them again so soon. They worry about whether their child will still feel known, supported, and safe in the new environment. A K-8 option helps provide that stability. It creates a school culture where younger students look up to older peers, where leadership is built over time, and where families can plant roots for nearly a decade. We also know that when families find schools that meet their needs long term, they are more likely to stay in the district, stay in their community, and stay invested in public education. Behind every enrollment number is a child. Behind every data point is a family. What a powerful opportunity we have in the midst of growth to plan intentionally, to listen to families, and to keep the K-8 model in mind as a solution parents are asking for. Let's not wait until growth becomes a crisis. Let's lead with vision, plan with purpose, and invest now in the kind of schools that keep families choosing public education. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your commitment to our students and our community.
Thank you. Next speaker.
This way, Jean.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Laura Garcia of Apollo Beach, and I am reading this statement tonight on behalf of a parent who strongly supports Dobie Elementary's K-8 expansion, but was unfortunately unable to attend today's meeting in person. She asked that her voice and her family's experience still be heard. It reads, members of the school board, my name is Vanessa Huelva, and I am a working mother of 3 children. This statement is submitted on my behalf and reflects my family's daily reality. I work overnight to support my household. While I am at work, my 3 children are cared for by their grandmother, who is 82 years old. This is not an easy responsibility for her, but she does it out of love and necessity. Every morning I return home exhausted, not to rest, but to wake my children and make sure they get to school safely. My oldest son wakes up at 5:30 a.m. to catch a school bus at 6:15 a.m. to attend school in Ybor City, Tampa. I make this choice because I fear placing him in closer schools where bullying, frequent fights, and unsafe environments are ongoing concerns. As a mother, my greatest responsibility is to protect my children. After my son leaves, my routine continues. I wake my 2 daughters at 6:20 a.m. so they can catch their bus at 7. Only after all 3 children are safely on their way to school can I rest for a few short hours before starting the cycle again. A K-8 school option would bring stability, safety, and peace to my family. It would reduce unnecessary hardship, protect children during critical years, and support working parents and grandparents who step in to help when no one else can. Families like mine are not asking for more. We are asking for what every child deserves: safety, stability, and the chance to grow without fear. Your decision today has the power to ease real suffering and protect real children. Please support the K-8 expansion. Respectfully submitted, Vanessa Huelva. Thank you for your time and for considering the real-life impact this decision will have on families like Vanessa's.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hello, members of the board. My name is Juan Hernandez. I want to go ahead and first off thank everyone who has met with us over the past 5 months. You guys have given us a lot of insight, things that we did not think about, understand, or even were aware of, and it's really helped us along this journey. And each of you have a very different approach, but one thing we've seen is passion from every single one of you. So we really appreciate that passion, and we match that passion for education as well. And that's why we're so dedicated to finding solutions for our area. Understanding that there are different ways to address different issues. We look forward to working with you guys continually to see how we can go ahead and address the concerns of our community and how we can go ahead and improve the options for choice in the South Shore area. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Can speakers number 7 and 8 please line up? Next speaker.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the school board. My name is Sal, and thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I'm a local business owner in Apollo Beach and a proud grandfather of 2 students at Dolby Elementary. My wife and I moved here 8 years ago from New York shortly after our first grandchild was born, so we could be close to our grandchildren, help care for them, and raise our family in a strong, family-centered community. Before moving here, I spent over 35 years working for the Hendrick Hudson School District in Montrose, New York, where I retired as a building maintenance manager. I spent my career supporting public schools, so I understand how important stability, safety, and long-term planning are for students and families. Dolby Elementary has been a wonderful public school for both my grandchildren. The staff and leadership have created a safe, supportive environment where children are known and cared for. As a grandfather, nothing matters more to me than knowing my grandkids are safe and are in a school that we can trust. That's why having a local K-8 school option is so important. It allows students to remain in a familiar environment with consistent leadership as they grow, rather than having to travel further or cross increasingly busy roads like Big Bend. The ability to walk or ride bikes to school is a real safety benefit and brings peace of mind to families like mine. As a local business owner, I speak with families throughout our community every day, and I hear the same message again and again. Families want quality public education options that keep their children safe and supported. When those options don't exist, families look elsewhere, and we've seen that happen in this community time and time again. As Apollo Beach continues to grow, planning for these needs are now critical. Families want strong public schools close to home that they can trust. Thank you for your time today and your continued commitment to our students and our community.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Sandra Ilik Dordevic, and I'm parent of Ava Dordevic, who is a student at Plan High School. And the reason I'm here today, because my daughter has been repeatedly penalized for excused absences when she had AP exams or when she was sick. All her makeup work was submitted, but either was never graded or it was graded with the penalties. And this is basically direct violation of Florida statute 1003.26, subsection 2, paragraph A, which states a student with an excused absence shall not receive an academic penalty as long as makeup work is completed within a reasonable time. And this basically is not an isolated event. It happened with the same teacher across 2 different classes over 2 years. I've escalated this, but nothing was done. And this directly affects my daughter's GPA, her class rank, and her future college applications. I also wanted to mention, even with these penalties, her percentage was at 89.2%, and I have supporting documentation here. So what I'm asking the board to do today is to direct the school to remove all grade penalties applied for excused absences in compliance with Florida statute and to recalculate her grade. And also to grade all her submitted work that was ignored. I do have all the supporting evidence. I don't know if somebody wants to take this, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Good afternoon, board members and superintendent. I'm Melissa Davis. I'm a proud Armwood Hawk alumni. I spent quite a few years raising dollars for the United Way and got to work with many of you in that capacity. I have 2 children still within Hillsborough County schools, and it's an exciting time. I see a lot of work being done by the Workforce Development Partners and Yvonne's group. I know she's in the room. But I'm here today because I'm wearing a new hat, and I'm no longer coming around asking everybody to donate money. I am now a program manager, so I've stepped into the teaching role here, and I'm running the program out of the United Food Bank and Services called FEED, which is Food, Education, Empowerment for Development. And it is generously funded by the Children's Board and supported by a lot of our partners like Baycare and Walgreens. It serves families and caregivers in East Hillsborough County that have children VPK through 10th grade. And it's a 6-week health literacy class where we invite both parents, grandparents, family caregivers, non-relative caregivers to join us to get more educated on how we can be healthy. And we serve our population appropriately by offering our class bilingually on Thursdays. And in fact, recently translated something for someone who was French speaking. We want to fill this class. I want a waiting list. I want a reason to have to replicate this class. I want it to grow because we know that I've done the pre-assessments already for my very first class. We know that people need more health education. And I would love for you all to help me fill that room. So I'm really here today just as a reintroduction to the community and my new role. And we thank you all for your partnership as well. We're able to serve quite a few students with our weekend bags across 23 of our Title I schools. And during the breaks, we're giving out about 1,500 break bags every break. So we're doing a lot of great things with the students, but we want to do even more. So it's just my open invitation to please invite me to your office to learn more about my program, put me in touch with all the right people. Ms. Rendon has been out and has also said she's going to help me with that, but I thought I would tag along to this meeting today and say hi to everyone. So thank you for all that you all do. I know sometimes you hear a lot and it's not always positive, but you guys are doing great, so thank you.
Thank you. And seeing no further public comment, we will now move on to the consent agenda. Superintendent Ayers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Members of the board, all items on the consent agenda have been reviewed with board members by staff. All questions raised were addressed and any requested clarifications have been provided.
Thank you. I need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. I have a motion by Member Combs and a second by Member Gray. Please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. The consent agenda has been approved. The following items will now be heard. C-402, C-706, C-1002. Item 402, request for proposals for wellness programs. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Board members, this is the RFP for our wellness program. On October 2nd of 2025, our procurement department, in conjunction with employee benefits, issued an RFP to secure a wellness program to assist our employees and their eligible dependents with setting and reaching wellness goals. The district's Wellbeing for You program focuses on physical, emotional, social, and financial wellness. Partnering with a vendor assists employees in their ability to participate in and benefit from a wellness program. The committee selected Vitality Group International, which is the incumbent, as they offer an engaging wellness program that is backed by data and science. Some of the data from Vitality indicated in 2025, ACPS employees engaged in Vitality had an 87% lower turnover rate than unengaged employees and a 25.1% lower medical spend per member per month. And the fee for the wellness program is paid by the ACPS medical carrier. And Madam Chair, that is 402.
I need a motion and a second to approve C-402. I have a motion by Member Gray and a second by Member Washington. Member Rendon, Member Vaughn, and Member Gray pull this item. Member Gray, you want to go first?
Thank you, Madam Chair. And yeah, it's such a great situation that we have. Again, for the last 10 years, we've really paid attention to the health and mental welfare, to physical health and mental welfare of our employees. And the structure is replicated again with the Vitality, as was the Go 365. And I'm just so pleased that we have the superstars before us, Miss Dina Marshall and Tracy Schatzberg, who's leading the charge and who has really encompassed and encouraged so many of our employees to get their screenings. And I think, if I'm right, and I didn't bring my glasses, so I'm going to try to read this, but over, 52.4% of the employees are currently participating in Vitality. But here it is. 6,055 employees completed a biometric screening, and this saves lives. And I look at our cabinet female and males. You need to get screened, and our superintendent. Females, sometimes, I know at Moffitt we had to have a Hispanic liaison to encourage females to get their tests, but I'm saying right now you girls are doing a wonderful job. I'm also looking at it fiscally, and if I were to take it apart, I see that we actually saved, this district have saved already $5.8 million less in health care claims. So that's a really good incentive for continuance. And I also have down that we already screened almost 2,000 employees. So, what we save in lives and what we save in money is all about the dedication that both of you, Ms. Marshall and Ms. Schatzberg, have done over the last, at least I've been here 10 years. So I just want to say thank you and keep on going and encourage our employees to get their tests because that's very, very critical. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have to agree with Member Gray in the fact that I am so excited that we have a program for our employees and that they can have this. One of the things I'm disappointed in, though, is that we have not done a really good job of running a true RFP process. When I look at all of the people that have applied for this, in several situations, they are management companies that would be putting together a complete package for a self-insurance. And in those cases, many times these programs would actually be free to our employees. But because this is already something that Aetna pays for, which we have not even yet determined that Aetna is going to be our health carrier, we're kind of putting ourselves in a position where we're required to use Aetna. The other thing I'm disappointed in is when we look at the committee that supported this, there's not one employee on that committee. We had 6 members in the first committee from Aon. We had 4 members from Aon on the second committee. We did have union representative, I agree. We did have administrative union representative, 1 on each. But we don't have employees that are actually using this on a regular basis. They were other HR staff. When it comes to Vitality Group International, it is a subsidiary of the Discovery Limited, a financial services company out of South Africa. I don't like that as well. When I asked and looked into the financial connection directly with Aetna, there are financial connections with Aetna, and over the time they've launched Attain in 2019. These are all reinsurance programs that connectly direct to Aetna. These are financial benefits that there's a financial link to Aetna. In all cases, in many cases of the other people that looked into this program, there were not financial gains to Aetna. There were not financial connections at all. But in either case, this is not a situation where we're truly going out and looking at all options for our employees. There are many options, and I see that they were all rated differently. I also know there were 5 of them that were moved because they did not submit all the paperwork. In other RFPs, we've asked for the additional paperwork. In these, they never received a request from that. So I'm going to be a no on this because I believe that we have to, if we're going to go self-insurance, we need to be really talking to people who are going to put complete packages together. We have other districts around the state that are providing least cost insurance to their staff. And right now, this is a huge hit to our bottom line. And we've got to do better by putting complete packages together and looking at all aspects. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Member Hahn?
Thank you. I guess my concern is, well, first I want to ask, how does this get, first let me just say, I do think wellness programs are great. I remember 360, our employees loved it. But how is this going to get paid for by our employees if they enroll? And do they enroll, or are they automatically enrolled and then have to choose to not be enrolled?
It's voluntary. I'd love to make it not be voluntary, but it's voluntary.
So they have to choose to be enrolled first.
They have to choose to enroll, and there's no cost for the employees.
Okay, so how's this getting paid for?
It gets paid through our insurance carrier.
Okay, so what happens, going back to what Member Rendon was saying, right now we have Aetna, but this is why I think the timing of this seems a little cart before the horse, because if we don't have Aetna moving forward as our, we put it out in the street, if maybe Aetna doesn't get chosen, now we have to take this away from our employees. And that's not good. That's just, that never plays out real well for the board, having to, now people fall in love with it and then it gets taken away. So why wouldn't you wait until we have a carrier in place? And and then do something like this. And if that's during a period of time where people really want a wellness program, then why not go out for a wellness program like Member Rendon said that, doesn't have a tie to a carrier where we might have to then take it away. Like, this puts us in a really bad position going down the road to where, they might fall in love with this, and then what do we do about that?
So thank you. I did not realize that was the thinking. So I'm glad that you've asked that question. So we know that we are out to bid right now and in the cone of silence for our RFP on the medical, but I will let you know that in there we ask any bidder to commit to paying for whatever wellness program we are doing.
I get that, but do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if we're already out for bid, why not wait?
Because it doesn't matter. I'm saying
it does matter because now the wellness program is going to possibly change to something other than this one.
No, ma'am, it won't.
So they have to pay for this one.
Yes, ma'am. And they've all, without.
That still doesn't. I understand that they'll do that, but do you understand that this just seems out of order? Like, it just seems like not the normal progression you would take to put something like this in place. Like, why not just wait for the RFP to play out and then do it more seamlessly? It just,
If I can add, as part of the process, we wanted to make sure that we were ensuring that it was a robust program. And so we decided to go out for the RFP on this one, again, because we knew that the RFP was going to be coming out. We wanted to be prepared for that. And we put it in the RFP in order to ensure that they still have this same program in the event, no matter who the vendor is that's chosen.
I understand. I'm just saying it just does, it still seems out of order. And so I'm not sure, now you're kind of, what if whoever we choose has a really phenomenal wellness program and then we don't want to go with this one? Then we're right back to where we are, where we've now got to, switch programs, which never bodes real well. We get a lot of public comment around that.
One of the options that we do have that's to the advantage of the district is this contract is really independent one-year contracts. It has the ability for the district to back out of it. We'd have to, I know we would have the ability to do that. Also, the timing of the contracts do matter because I believe they're not on the same time frame as our health insurance. So that's a little bit of why the timing comes at this point of the year.
And I could also add that these are two separate things. So we have what's going out for RFP right now on the health. Then we have a wellness program, which we see as two separate things, a wellness program for our school district and our medical health insurance plan, two separate things.
Yeah, but they're not separate. Because I'll tell you why they're not separate. Because you're saying that my argument is, this is already tied to Aetna. And and whoever we choose, whoever gets chosen, because we don't make that decision, as our carrier is now going to have to use this, right, which maybe they have a better one, and then we have to switch people again, and people don't like those changes happening in short periods of time. It just seems like this, again, is kind of a little cart before the horse with, why not wait till we find out who the carrier is going to be? Maybe they have a great wellness program already, and then it's a little bit cleaner and more seamless. So the timing doesn't have to be now. It's not like, how long have we been without a formal wellness program?
Yeah,
we had Humana. We've had them for a while. We had Go 365 since
right, but there's been a gap for a while now.
No, ma'am, and then we've had Vitality since January.
Okay, so with Aetna, I'm sorry,
not with Aetna.
Well,
it's a separate.
I understand.
It's not with Aetna. So
right.
We picked Vitality, and Aetna is paying for it. If another carrier is selected in the upcoming or current RFP, then that vendor would be expected to pay for it.
And when are you going to have? When is that process going to be completed? When will you come to us with the results of that?
So I'm hoping in April.
In April. And okay, so do you see my point though? Like, why not just wait until that's done, and then do this if
to your point, I must not be articulating it well because they really are separate and distinct.
I understand, but I'm coming as a person representing, our employees, and we're the ones who end up getting the blowback when we make changes like this. If we don't stay with this wellness program, because, like I said, maybe if we're going with a different insurance carrier, they have a wellness program. So I'm not, it's really about, our employees don't like to have, they don't like all change, like constant change. So we get to April, we get to maybe May, and now the new carrier has a better wellness program that, we think is a better one, and we want to change, and now they have to change again. So it's just like, why not just wait until we know who the carrier is and see if they have a wellness program, so we don't have to keep, maybe we wouldn't change, but maybe we would. And I just don't, I just think it puts the board in another position of, we're going to have to maybe change things, and employees don't like that. It's, they've already get committed and like a program. So that's my concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Hahn. Member Gray?
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I'm probably not going to be too much of a help because what Member Hahn is saying has validity, but Dr. Whalen, I'm talking. What I really think is that particular question, the cart before the horse, we have one of the smoothest transitions right now with almost 2,000, right, employees who have used 365, and what we've done, I say you all have done, is made a seamless transition to the Vitality. So why would we make that decision, or you guys make the decision for Vitality when the insurance is not fully, let's just say, valued or voted for at the board? What is the mystery that's happening with Member Hahn and Member Rendon that you cannot articulate and smooth this out? I would like to know.
So the one thing I would say is the best part of being self-funded is the ability to do just what we're doing, which is to go out and find best in the business experiences, and that's what we believe we have found. And by being self-funded, it allows us to carve that out and have expectations of other carriers or not. We can certainly delay this and come back after if that would be better. I mean, we're doing our due diligence to go out there and make sure we had a great plan. We know our employees like it, and we stand behind it. But if you'd rather wait and we can come back and do it later.
Ms. Schatzberg, you guys are the experts, and we are guided by your professional insight and your professional experience. And I'm not in a position to doubt what you're doing, what you did do. I'm only in a position to understand the comprehensive nature of this program as it benefits our employees. I have not a problem. I see in a sentence right here, Vitality Group International is in fact the largest and longest running health and well-being engagement platform in the world. I don't know how we can dismantle that reputation at this point in time. I don't know how we can go ahead and say, let's go ahead and wait for something when these employees, if they don't get their mammograms, their all the tests, they are, they need that addressed right away. Many of us do and should. So I am going to say yes to this. But I do but I do understand their mythology. I'll get that word later. But anyway, there is a point, and when you present to the board, you have to be prepared because there's always those question marks. And but I value your profession. I value this, and I know the program fairly well, and it served thousands of our employees. So thank you. That's the end of my comments.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, it does make a difference because if I'm asking if I'm looking at another healthcare plan as an option, then I'm asking them to pick up that cost if it's not Aetna that's picking that up. So it does make a difference on what their package they're going to put together to us because they're going to be paying another vendor for a product that they may have been able to provide to us for free. So we're taking that option off the table when we're looking at everything at a whole. And quite frankly, we then give one more of a benefit over the other because one is already carrying what we're carrying. And when you say that there's no link to Aetna, let me make it very clear that Vitality Group International has a significant financial connection with Aetna through the series of reinsurance transactions. 2015, they entered in a 3-year reinsurance agreement at Vitality regarding 6 limited involving $200 million. Through 2025, Aetna continued limited securities holding 16th reinsurance. Vitality targeted at $250 million. That was just last year. These structured reinsurance deals demonstrate a clear financial linkage between Aetna and Vitality Group International. At the end of the day, it does not give us a fair advantage to be able to clearly and objectively look at things moving forward as we try to put together a complete self-insurance package, because you're linking one item to another through finance and not giving us the ability to have those other vendors have their options on the table for all of what they provide. So it is completely putting the cart before the horse. And I would like to make a motion to remove the agenda item and bring it back after our health insurance.
So, board members, that's basically a motion to continue. That takes precedence over the motion on the floor. That requires a second. So clear the board, please. And clear the board, please. And if there's a motion, if someone wants to second Ms. Rendon's motion, so Dr. Hahn has seconded it. So that motion now is to continue this until after the after the self-insurance has been put in place. Is that, yeah. So you can, if anyone has any comments about that, you should push your button and speak now. Otherwise, you can vote on the motion to continue.
Member Rendon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to make sure our employees understand that this we're talking about would not be effective until January of 2027. Am I correct? So there is no risk of them losing any of their current benefits until all of our insurances go into effect in January of 2027. I want to make that very clear that no matter what vitality or well-being program we choose, it will not change till 2027. So putting this back until other things and making a complete package would not hinder or directly affect any employees until January of 2027.
Okay. So board members, if you want to have this item heard at a later date, you should vote yes. If you want to have it voted on tonight, you should vote no. So this motion is to have it voted on after your self-insurance plan is in effect.
Review that again.
So if you... Just been a second. Dr. Hahn seconded the motion. Made by Member Rendon, seconded by Dr. Hahn. The motion is to continue this to a future date after the self-insurance plan has been in effect. So if you want to vote on this at a future date, vote yes. If you want to vote on it tonight, vote no, and then you'll come back to the main motion. So a vote yes means it's not going to be heard tonight. failed 4-2, so that means the main motion to approve is back on the floor. The motion failed 4-2, which means the motion is back on the floor to approve tonight. There is a standing motion to approve this item. You can have further discussion or you can vote now.
Is there any other discussion? Okay, see,
So this is the main motion. This is to approve item 402, which is the wellness program.
seeing no further discussion, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes with Member Rendon and Member Han descending on the vote.
And Madam Chair, I would suggest going to your policies now because we are after the certain time.
We're going to go on to the hearing on the policies for time certain. Public hearing on the adoption of revised policies. I will now open the public hearing on the adoption of revised policies. This is a requirement pursuing to the state law and policy and board policy. This is an opportunity for any member of the public to speak about policies that are recommended for adoption by the board and to provide input to the board. These policies are advertised and have been available for public review. Mr. Jim Porter, our school board attorney, will highlight this item.
Thank you, board members. Before you tonight are the policies for your final approval. You'll recall that you've had workshops on these policies where you've worked through the issues. They've been revised pursuant to your requests and to your comments. They have been properly advertised, and it's appropriate to make a motion to vote for the approval of these policies at this point after you ask if anyone in the public wishes to speak.
Does anyone want to speak during the public hearing on the adoption of the revised policies? Seeing no comment, I will now close the public hearing. I need a motion and a second to adopt all policies. I have a motion by Member Washington and a second by Member Gray. Any discussion?
Yes.
Member Hahn?
I just wanted to clarify some things around the finance policy, given the comments that were made during this earlier in the meeting. So, you know, we talked about this policy quite a bit. I mean, we've workshopped it a number of times and finally got to a consensus. The total general fund balance is 10%, but the unassigned is 7%. So, you know, and that's really important. And we talked about this at the workshop too, because it's the 10% includes the restricted, the committed, the assigned, and the unassigned. But the 7% unassigned is part of the 10%, and then 3% makes up the rest. And this, and correct me, Mr. Lewis, if I'm wrong here, but so, you know, the 7% is when we talk about, you know, having flexibility, and when we talk about emergencies, or we talk about financial delays on money coming from Tallahassee, or most importantly, when we talk about declining enrollment. And so we've been seeing consistently declining enrollment. And so that's why it's very important to have that unassigned 7%. It can also be used for teacher bonuses when we're negotiating that. And, you know, it's very important for a district this size, really any district, to plan not just for employee raises, but to also plan for unexpected financial situations. Because what we're seeing around the state, and even right across the bridge, is that due to unforeseen financial situations, they are now laying off employees. They are laying off people in schools. And I don't want to be in that position. You know, been there, done that, don't like it. And by having this kind of cushion, so to speak, the 7%, it allows us just another way to safeguard our employees, which bodes well for mostly our students, because we want a workforce that's stable. It bodes well for our unions who want a stable membership. They don't want to see, a decline in that. They don't want to see teachers, or paras or any of their members have to be let go, because we are put into a financial situation where unless we let go teachers, we're not going to be able to make payroll. We don't want to be in a position where we can't make payroll and we have to take out a TAN, because that hurts our bonding and it hurts our ratings. So this is really a big picture. We have to have a big, a 30,000 foot view of what's happening with our finances right now. Absolutely, we want to give raises, but we also want to be sure that our employees have stability, that they can keep their jobs. And you can talk more about the declining enrollment and the impact that that's had currently and what you're seeing around the state.
Yeah, so thank you for that. I do think we always want to do what's best for our district and to our employees and to our students. I think the fiscal policy allows us the opportunity, and if you notice inside the policy, there's a section where it allows the superintendent to bring an agenda item to the board if some emergency does occur. As we've mentioned before, I think I've told all of you, this is our safety net. This is our savings account in case something does happen. It allows us to maneuver during the year and then reset over the summer, so we try to disrupt the classroom to the least amount possible. That doesn't mean that we'll be in a situation one day where that doesn't happen, but our goal is to never do that. If we were to operate and bring a budget together next year, for example, in FY27 that had a 3% fund balance, that's how we built the budget. And if we had an unexpected enrollment decline sometime in that year, at any point in that year, we would not have the savings account to turn to be able to maneuver without making some type of change inside the district. And so I think it's an opportunity for us that the policy does not say that we cannot go below. It says the superintendent can bring an agenda item forward if some unforeseen situation does occur. And I think right now, as we see in the K-12 landscape in the state of Florida and how enrollment has shifted this year, and we don't know what that means in future state, and when we see other things that are occurring, and we're trying to see how our funding is going to work and then how funding will work in the future, I think it's most important for us right now to have this ability so we can preserve the academic year each year and then have the ability to reset before we enter into the next fiscal year.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just like some comments were the last agenda item where they deferred to the expertise of staff, right? We have to defer to the expertise of our CFO in this regard. And, I think that it's quite a unique policy, and I think we're going to set the stage for other districts, and it was really important to all of us when we spoke at the workshop to have that clause in there that the superintendent could, in fact, if he did need to tap into that 7% to secure salaries or some other type of emergency, he could do that. So we're trying to create a policy that's really flexible for the district as well, because we know there's so many uncertainties at the state and federal level right now. And again, the whole idea of this policy is to safeguard our employees and, make sure they don't have to be scared for their jobs like we're seeing around the state. So, I hope I know we had consensus on this in the workshop. I hope we have this on the dais tonight. I know we all care deeply about our employees. We want to be able to give them raises. We want to make sure we can give them bonuses through this. We want to make sure that most of all, they keep their jobs. And we do not ever want to have to go into the schoolhouse and touch those jobs. We want to look for savings outside the schoolhouse. But sometimes with the way the finances are and the enrollment is declining or just kind of up and down, there's not even enough cuts to make fast enough outside of the schoolhouse to save jobs. So, that's why this is so important. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Hahn. Member Gray?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I mean, it's critical that we have now a fund balance that provides the stability, yet also sustainability of a district, not just for 1 year, but throughout when we're gone. I want to say, when we talk about the policy, that's we got that, but we also, under the CFO, have a plan that will mirror deviations the deviation we had this year, some of you may know, is 7,000 less ELL students, which cost us a lot of lost FTE. So did we know that was going to happen? Well, maybe we did, but you can only forecast so much. So that, whether you think it's an emergency or not, that would classify itself as a budgetary huge hiccup. So, you know, I get with Ellen Lyons, and I appreciate her very, very much. I get that use the money for the instructional folks, and that's so critical. But when you have a decrease of enrollment that just happened, if we don't have that secure fund balance to mitigate that, then we're going to go, you know, lower and lower. And Dr. Hahn and I both remember in 2017, we were 2 weeks away from not being able to pay our instruction, our staff, and everything else. We had to take a TAN note. And that note, as was mentioned, has an interest rate. And that interest rate cuts into the balance as well. We don't want to take a TAN note if we can help it, because then your bond rate, everything that Dr. Hahn mentioned becomes real. I was going to ask Mr. Lewis to make a few statements to clarify, but you already have, Mr. Lewis. And if you would like to say anything else, any remarks about what I just said, given that we have the ELL decrease, any other decreases that might say, hey, we better have that healthy fund balance?
I'll just follow up that we're monitoring our enrollment, and we look at that on a continual basis, and that's something that every district around Florida is continuing to monitor. I think we're in a unique situation, as we mentioned earlier, where we haven't experienced this before, and I think that's something we need to monitor, and we don't know. We don't know how it will be next year, and so we want to make sure we're prepared and we provide the best opportunity for our students, and we want to minimize any disruptions that we can.
And we're reminded, and Tracy Brown, we were under the fear of Title I, II, and III, those funds being cut. Was that one time a big fear? And so suddenly we almost had that emergency. So, you know, things are very tenuous, and I think we have to really safeguard with a stable type fund balance. But those are my remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Rendon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to reiterate the fact that one of the reasons that we create a fund balance is to secure the safety and the security of our teachers. There are currently 5 school districts right now that have gone below the 3% based upon the change of enrollment from the 10-day count to the 100-day count, and that is across the state of Florida. 2 of those school districts will not be able to make payroll in April because they do not have enough money to make sure they account for that loss in that district. Because we have become financially stable, because we've taken these policy actions to make sure we have that fund balance, we are not in that position with our students. That 1,700 loss between the 10-day and the 100-day count is not showing in any vouchers. They're not showing in private schools. They're not showing in homeschool. They're not showing anywhere. So it's not because of loss to a private school or to a charter. It's showing that they're just out, not in any of the schools in the state of Florida, but yet we have schools that are set up for that. We don't want to change our schools mid-year. We have to prepare for these contingencies. We have to prepare for hurricanes, where we're getting 40%, sometimes 30% back from FEMA. We have to prepare for those things to make sure our staff are secure in their roles. So I do thank the committee and our board for bringing these policies to ensure the security of our staff. It's quite important that we make sure they know that we have the safety and the security to get them through the school year. So thank you.
Thank you, Member Rendon. Member Washington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Lewis, thank you for informing. I was totally shocked by the decreasement in students in Hillsborough County. It's alarming. I go back to 2017. I was area superintendent then, and we got a call. We had to come in, and they said, you know, we may not even have enough money for payroll. I do not ever want to have that feeling again in Hillsborough County Public Schools. That was a horrible feeling. Because you think about how hard people work every day, and then it comes up, you may not have a payroll, you may not get paid. So it's important to keep that fund balance. That's the saving account. When you run out of money, your roof goes bad, whatever goes bad, you got an account there to help out. I appreciate it. You know what? I appreciate you because you do a great job. I really do. You do a great job. Thank you.
The superintendent, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just gonna add on that every year we work with our state with projections on number of students, and our finance team does an unbelievable job of taking a projection of what number we're going to be at for a school year and aligning our units to that projection. So even though we have a loss of students, it's a projection that finance team makes. So that's what we're doing up front now in assigning our units out there to our sites. So that way we have that projection of where we're going to be in the fall, and they've done a phenomenal job over the last 3 years that I've seen since I've been in this role of that projection of what that number is going to be. We align units to that number, and we get very, very close to that number. So even though we have a loss in enrollment, it's predicted, and the units that we've assigned out to schools have been right on target with what our projected number of students we have in Hillsborough County. And it's important to remember our staffing models are built on numbers of students in this district, and as you know, Mr. Washington, a number of students in schools. So they do a phenomenal job in that prediction of where we're going to be at and align those staff models to our number of students.
Thank you, Superintendent. Mr. Lewis, didn't recently we have to pay back some money for some vouchers? And how much was that money that we had to pay?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but last year in the third calculation, the state did they reappropriated the portion that we do receive. Again, when we discussed that, I mean, last spring, that is not technically directly tied to the voucher system, although we did see the voucher system rise, and as we have seen an unexpected growth, they have seen also unexpected growth. We've seen a decline, they've seen expected growth in their numbers. So I cannot say that it was a 1-for-1 decrease there, but that we have seen a shift in our enrollment in Hillsborough County. And I think that's what's important is we do monitor where our voucher system and our charter schools and DJJ and our Hillsborough students, we look at all of those numbers, and we do see that as we're declining, we do see the voucher system growing in its popularity. And so that's something that the state does look at and adjust accordingly.
And recently we had to pay some money back, didn't we?
So we did not necessarily pay money back. In the third calc of last year, they did a pre-appropriation because they needed some additional support in the state budget, according to the information we got from the state. I cannot say on record if that was for the voucher system. It's just the state said they had to right-size some things, and they were able to do that through the third calculation last year.
Okay. So, so myself, Member Gray, and Member Hahn were at the STAIS in 2018 and 2019 when we had the superintendent pull a roster of teachers and support staff that lost their jobs because we were in a deficit of $175 million in this district. I remember looking at that roster, much to my horror, when we were reading all the support staff, they were going to be losing their positions because we could not meet payroll. And then in 2019, I remember Gray had to go up to New York to justify why we were in the red. And in 2020, I think we were almost taken over by the state. Am I correct?
Correct.
Superintendent Ayers? We were threatened to be taken over. So this district has learned a major lesson. I think a major lesson that other districts today are learning. And that's one of the reasons why we try to maintain that amount, that cushion, because prior to 2018, actually this district was $375 million in the red. And we've worked our way out of that space. And today we are, very healthy and want to stay that way. So, and that's the reason why, because we've experienced a very unhealthy fund balance and budget. And today, we're able to make sure that we can meet our payroll and make sure that our teachers stay in the classrooms in front of our students. Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So seeing no further comments, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously. Our next item is item 706. Invitation to bid, interior and exterior signage. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This invitation to bid provides the district with the ability to purchase traffic direction and informational signs on an as-needed basis throughout the district. The products provided comply with current Department of Transportation standards in accordance with ADA accessibility guidelines and requirements for textile and braille copy as well. And that is 706.
Thank you. I need a motion and a second to approve item C706. I have a motion by Member Washington and a second by Member Combs. Member Vaughn pulled this item, and seeing that she is not here, does anyone have any comments or questions? Seeing none, please vote when your lights up. And it passes unanimously with Member Gray away from the dais. The next item is item 1002, Microsoft Enrollment for Education Solutions Annual Renewal. Superintendent Ayers will highlight this item.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And this item is the third year renewal of our Microsoft Enrollment for Education Solutions Agreement. It ensures that our staff and students maintain access to the core Microsoft tools and security services that run our classrooms and our operations. And of course, we all know Microsoft 365, our email system, Azure services, and Defender security across district devices. The renewal also sustains our progress with collaborations and AI-supported tools. It keeps in place our Teams Premium Power Platform and Microsoft 365 Copilot licenses, which you previously approved as part of our AI and productivity pilots. And again, this is our third year renewal of Microsoft in our school district, and that is item 1002.
I need a motion and a second to approve item C1002. I have a motion by Member Combs and a second by Member Washington. Member Vaughn pulled this item. She is not at the dais. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, please vote when your lights appear. And it passes unanimously with Member Gray away from the dais. We will now go into employee and student comment. Even though we hear public comment at the beginning of the meeting, it's sometimes difficult for employees and students of our district to attend the meetings at 4 p.m. There are many ways for employees and students to make their voices heard, including through union representatives, emails, phone calls, one-on-one conversations, and public comment at the beginning of the meeting. The board wants to hear from you. In this section of our agenda, we're creating another avenue for employees and students to speak to the board. We are setting aside 30 minutes for employees of the district to speak to the board about any issues that are on your mind. This is not intended to be a discussion about specific agenda items on tonight's agenda, but rather an opportunity for you to speak to the board about any issues related to your job or the district. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. I will now call Rob Creed, our friend. And
shocking, Rob
Just
Creed,
awesome.
president of CTA. Hey, I'm not here to argue the fund balance. I've done that a lot over the years, and I honestly believe that it does help when we talk about payroll and meeting payroll. That would be scary for me and all the employees. But we're talking about the floor. Where's the ceiling for the fund balance? When do we start giving that money to the employees that desperately need them? You guys unanimously just passed a policy, by the way, that disallows any of those dollars ever to go to employees. How do employees get dollars? They get them through collective bargaining, but it strictly prohibits in what you guys just passed. I know we could have an emergency where the superintendent can say, hey, we need these dollars for employees, but that just seems silly that we have to go through that route. So now if the floor is 7%, what's the ceiling? Do we say when we hit 10%, then those dollars over that will go to the employees that desperately need them? Coach, you spoke about the savings account for the district. How many of the employees that I represent have a meaningful savings account? I would say few, and yet they're still doing what they can for these kids. So a little frustrated by how we're kind of pigeonholing some of the dollars in this district. I understand the uncertainty in the state. It's crazy up there in Tallahassee. They keep coming at us. Madam Chair, to your point, the vouchers are the number one priority. Then, then the rest of us. I mean, then our charter schools and then our public schools. So our kids are losing out. But, we want to make sure that whatever we have on the table that we can do for our employees that we do while protecting this district from all of the crazy things going on. We have collectively kept a lot of the pain away from the stakeholders, the parents and the students. And it's becoming more and more difficult with the laws that are being passed in Tallahassee. But we truly need to continue that collaboration and conversations so we can do what's best for all of the kids in Hillsborough County. So I'm frightened for public education in Florida, but we're going to continue to fight, and collectively we could do that because we are powerful here in Hillsborough. So thank you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And seeing no further comments, we will move into the superintendent comments. Superintendent.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So my superintendent's updates this evening, we're going to start with our regional STEM fair, if we can get there. Just 1 second. Look at this. So just with our, while we wait to get our slide moved over, there we go. So our regional STEM fair, and I was happy to see so many of our board members that were here at our STEM fair. School board members and district leaders stopped by our 2026 Hillsborough County Regional STEM Fair last Thursday at the Tampa Convention Center, where we were able to visit with our amazing and bright students who were very happy to show us their work. Reminder again, the awards are virtual and will be aired on March 6th at 6 p.m. on Hillsborough Schools TV. Special thanks to, I know board members, you were mentioning Kate White that was there, the organization this year, and to Mr. Brady, you and your team, the organization at the STEM Fair this year, just to see all of our students, there with their projects, and so proud to be there, and a great honor for them. I don't know of any other STEM fairs around the state of Florida that are at that magnitude of Hillsborough County. So just special thanks to Mr. Brady, his team, and special thanks to Kate White, our supervisor for our K-12 STEM. And on to the rodeo winner. Never heard of the rodeo until recently. But on this past Saturday, our transportation team held the rodeo competition. We haven't held this competition in Florida since 2017. Their team was excited to be able to compete and show off their incredible skills. So we had over 30 drivers enter the skills and safety competition, which had them maneuvering through their bus through a challenging obstacle course. Congratulations to Juan Maldonado, who beat out the reigning champ, Cassandra Varnes, to take first place. Cassandra came in second, and Romy Tehu took third. The winner received a $1,000 prize, and the top three will go on to compete in the state competition in April. Laura Hill, our general manager of transportation, believes our team will take the state prize and go on to the national competition. Mr. Farkas, you drive a bus? Did you get in there?
No, we didn't. There's no crashes there, but the lady that's in the upper right-hand picture, she's actually from Texas. She runs the national organization, and she came to see how we did ours, was very impressed with the organization. It was great, and so we look forward to it. And the gentleman in the orange shirt, the drivers are competitive. We had like driving gloves. The whole thing was an awesome event. He scored a perfect score. Wow. That's a written test, the driving test, all that stuff too. So he had a written. Now you see him cheering. The other people behind him, not so much. There was definitely some competition. So we get to send him and two alternatives to the Florida competition, and then hopefully into Texas this summer. So if you want to go to Texas in June, that's when the competition is going to be outdoors. So it should be fun. It was a great competition to Laura Hill and her team.
Yeah, we do. We do. Thank you, Mr. Farkas. So let's talk some sports now. So some of our athletic teams are competing in regional competitions. First, the Newsom girls soccer team competed today at the state semifinals. 1 goal short. I know, 1 goal short, but congrats to them for making to the state semis. In basketball, we have the girls regionals this Friday. We actually have teams competing, or Sumner, Steinbrenner, and Bloomingdale. And Miss Gray, I found that out because I'm running the Gasparilla 15K, and here comes the basketball coach at Steinbrenner comes up behind me and starts talking to me about how excited she was to be in her team in the regional finals. She was over at Steinbrenner. So 3 teams in the regional finals. Boys basketball, we have Plant and Sickles at the regionals on Saturdays. And, of course, the regionals will go on to the state finals. Wrestling, we had the girls regionals where we have several state qualifiers, and the boys regionals are this week. So special good luck to all of our teams from across the district. So those sports are finishing up, and then we move into our spring sports here with baseball. That's all kicking off now. But special congrats to Newsom and all of our basketball teams for making regional finals. Around academic excellence, so we had some great news that Mr. Brady shared around our college and career acceleration rate. And board members, as I've mentioned, this is something that board members, you have been in the forefront of this, getting things approved in the school district that has been able to take our rate. If you look from 2020 up to now, you're talking about a 17% increases, and students have gained access to so many accelerated opportunities. In particular, if we go to this next slide, what are those opportunities? So what is a college and career acceleration? So to put this in perspective, and I try to just, talk about it this way. If you talk our entire seniors that graduated this past year, what percentage of them earned a basically an acceleration point in any one of these categories, and to think that we were sitting back in 2020 at 54%, and now we're at 71% countywide. But I do want to add, board members, that our traditional public schools, we have a 74% college and career acceleration. So let me say that again, 74%. So that's almost 3 in every 4 students that graduate from Hillsborough County Public Schools have earned some sort of what you have on your screen in front of you, some sort of accelerated requirement. And we all know them as dual enrollment, the ACE, IB, AP, we go down the line, industry cert, dual enrollment. ASFAB also counts. Almost 75% in Hillsborough County 3 of 4. That's a testament to this school district. Students that leave prepared, we talk about preparing students for life. 3 in every 4 earning some type of opportunity, acceleration moving forward. So Mr. Brady, thank you to you and your entire team, all of our principals, our teachers, throughout this entire school district. We talk about graduation rate. This is a big one here, because this is, you take all those students and which ones have actually earned some type of acceleration. So some of our, if you want to look at the screen now, see our traditional schools at that 74%, some of our highest rates at our traditional schools, and some of the increases that we have there. So just a special shout out. I don't want that to go without being seen. That's a tremendous amount of work to go from 54% in 2020, all the way up into the 70s. And we're almost at 3 in every 4 earning some type of acceleration. Remarkable work. And Black History Brain Bowl. So board members, we were here this past Saturday. So we held our 10th annual Black History Brain Bowl district playoffs, hosted by the HABC in partnership with Hillsborough County African American Task Force, the HCPS Social Studies team, and the Hillsborough Education Foundation. This milestone event proudly celebrates the knowledge, preparation, and dedication of our students. Special thanks to Principal Rashad Woods at D.W. Waters Medical Academy for hosting. Also thanks to Lynette Judge from our social work team and Jonathan Padgett from our CTE team for judging this year's events. I know board members that we were there. Those were 2 people I didn't want to be, were the judges. They had to make some tough calls on some of that competition. So special thanks to Lynette and Jonathan. I told them when I got up there I didn't want to be sitting in the judges' chairs. They had to make some tough calls there. And finally, thanks to our board members, district leaders, and families who came out to support our students. And we have the winners. Are we ready for them? The winners are, here we go. There they are. So congrats to the following So we have our elementary, middle, and high school winners. So such a close competition. Our students were absolutely amazing, just like they are every year. Out of the 93 schools that participated, I want to give a big shout out to the following 3 schools for earning top spot. Elementary was Clark, middle school Williams, and our high school Robinson finished on top. We will actually recognize these students at our April 28th recognition meeting. They'll be here with the opportunity to recognize them. But just shout out to all our schools there. Robinson, I think this is their second year in a row that they've won high school, and they're returning they were a team full of juniors, Mr. Washington, Ms. Gray. You were there at the end with me. They were a team full of juniors, so they'll be back to defend their title, bringing all those juniors back. But can't go without special shout out to, of course, Clark. But Miss Vaughn, who's not here tonight, her son Zach was part of the Williams Middle School Magnet. You see him in the picture there. So I'm sure, Member Vaughn, you're listening. Congratulations. I know it was a great event, great morning. Special congratulations to all of our big winners, Clark, Williams, and Robinson. But I'll tell you, it was first, second, third place. If you look at those point totals, it was really, really close, and what a great competition. So great Saturday afternoon. And finally, our elementary schools will begin to hold open houses for families enrolling their child into Head Start, VPK, and kindergarten for the 26-27 school year. This year, we've also launched a new website to support families through that registration process, and you can see it there on the screen. It's hcpsready.com for more information about preparing your child to begin their educational journey with Hillsborough County Public Schools. And last slide, seems like we're doing this a lot. Another No School, so No School Monday, March 2nd is Strawberry Festival Day. So I know a lot of us will be in some activities. Yes, right. So if they choose, our students' families can enjoy the Strawberry Festival and Parade that day on Monday, March 2nd, no school. And again, that is no school across the entire school district, no school anywhere, Hillsborough County, Monday, March 2nd. Go enjoy the Strawberry Festival and the parade. Board members, I know a lot of you will be out there at the parade as well. And those are my highlights.
Thank you so much. And we'll move on into our board member comments. Board members, just a reminder, you will have 5 minutes to speak with 30 seconds for final thoughts. So, Member Gray.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I want to just say and recognize the National Future Farmers of America Week, which coincides with the Strawberry Fair and our upcoming Strawberry Festival Parade. Also, while we're talking about strawberries, I wanted to recognize also the great work that Principal Graham and the adult education leader, Kevin Norton, and the school lot technical college is just without a doubt so, oh my gosh, so transformative. I saw the students in welding and in construction, electrical engineering, but what was really striking is the amount of modern equipment. I know the word modern is not going to fit, but it is the most up-to-date, sophisticated equipment for these students to really hone in on. And the program is growing. Plus, it has a GED program, so it's just such a successful initiative. So, Rick Lott, I expect for you to have, I know you're having your own float because I saw him build it, and just remember to put some strawberries on there for us. So, moving on. Thank you, Pablo. Oh, this is the STEM Fair. I know that all the board members were there enjoying it, and the students. Over 1,300 exhibits from the elementary, and over 180, oh, I bet I got this one wrong, 180 high school groups and/or students were at the fair. It was just a brilliant, wonderful way of seeing the brains of our students and how they are so creative and just as smart as heck. So we appreciate those teachers. And that's what really starts it all. And then, of course, the parents are there. So it was a wonderful experience. So thank you, Member Combs, I think Member Vaughn, Member Rendon. Did I leave anyone out? Member Perez were there, and Superintendent Van Ayers. So we enjoyed it. Next, I didn't send a slide on this one. Pablo, but our human trafficking student online safety panel will be at Collins K through 8 to advise parents of the realities and strategies regarding social media usage and protections to put into action. The Parental Awareness Town Hall will be held February 26th from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. And board members, you are very, very invited. And next, we have a photo. Pablo, do we have a photo of you of the HAPC Black History Brain Bowl? Because actually, Shake Washington and I, we are with the African American Task Force, and thank you, Shake, for all your contributions. But the big winners, and yes, Clark Elementary, Williams Middle, and Robinson, stellar performance from these students. Mr. Brady, thank you for your commitment of excellence, academic excellence, and always being behind raising the bar of our students in every asset and every aspect of the curriculum. But I want to thank Dr. Andrea Beverly. She is the HAPC director in charge. She organized this, and Kingsha Parham, before that, she was the big organizer, and they worked together to have this great event. And by the way, we actually now go to the state regionals, and Strawberry Crest was the winner. So we're not just doing district, now we're going to the state with the Black History Cultural Academic students to really, really showcase our district. And I have to also thank Allison Edgecombe. She began, now it's 3 years ago, the Thurgood Marshall Clubs, but she has over 49 Thurgood Marshall Clubs who were also the cheerleaders during the events at D.W. Waters during the Brain Bowl. So a big thank you to, and I know Superintendent Van Ayers, you mentioned a few of them, but I'm just going to read them off just because, well, hold on. Okay, real quick. Ernest Woods, Lynette, Judge, Dr. Pansy Holton, Kelly Brennan, Marie Rogers, Sheila Cusi, Mr. Pageant, plus, of course, Gary Brady, Shay, thanks for coming, McCrae, Tracy Brown. A special thanks to our wonderful superintendent, board members, Shake Washington, Jessica Vaughn, and Nadia Combs. We had special guests, Naya Young, BOCC Gwen Myers, and our iconic Black History person, Fred Hearns. So we're going to do a special recognition in April 28th. Okay, thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Gray. Member Washington?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, I'm going to go to the HAPC Black Brain Bowl. It was a phenomenal event. Rashad Woods did a great job as the principal there. That school is beautiful, Mr. Farkas. You know, I believe that's the old Jefferson High School, right? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful school. We had a great attendance. Parents came out. The students was phenomenal, well disciplined, very knowledgeable about Black history. And Clark and Williams and Robertson, congratulations. But congratulations to all of the kids, the students, because they all did a great job. It was so exciting. I mean, people were very excited about it. It was good. I mean, it was really one of the best ones we've been to in a while. It really was. Moving on now to Blake. I think I have something about Blake alumni. Pablo? Is it? Okay. As you can see, I had to go over to Blake, being a Miltonian tiger, but it was something great because we were there for the last time the alumni probably would see Stewart up, which is the old Howard W. Blake, Howard Wesley Blake High School. 1959, 1954 somewhere, and there's 56. I tell you, we had a lot of people there, way more than those, because people was coming and going, and they were excited. It was kind of sad because that's a part of history in Hillsborough County you'll never get back. The old Howard W. Blake. They were excited because we're going to build one better than that. But at the end of the day, you know, we always kind of reminisce about the old days and how we couldn't come on their side of town and they couldn't come on our side of town, and it was great. It was great to see some of the friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. And at the very end, everybody, you know, we We did a good job that day. Everything went well. But you know, we worked hard over the years to have a school like Blake and Milton back in the old days, back in the daytime, as I say, because those were the only 2 black schools we had in Hillsborough County, in the city. Now we had Marshall, which was out in Plant City, but they was not considered, you know, in the inner city schools. So it was just Blake and Milton, and I go back and I was reminiscing, and we were talking about times where the first year integration in athletics, you know, the first year integration we played at Phillip Field, you know. The first year it was all whites on one side, all black, because that was the first year integration, 1967, 68, which was my senior year in high school. And we go back to those days where when we walked in the first time we ever played a game against whites, first time. We walked in on Phillips Field, and it was jam-packed. One side was all black, one side was all white. But the competition, we played hard. It was no problem. It was nothing going on irregular but playing football at Phillips Field. And, you know, you think about it now, it's totally different. You know, it's a part of it, you know. It's a part of, everything is a part of life. Things continue to move. We continue to improve in Hillsborough County. You know, we continue to have schools now where, you know, we can do what we, black and whites, it doesn't make a difference. We got great schools now in Hillsborough County. So I'm very proud of that, to be 76 to see that. Great administrators, I mean parents, everybody blended in together to work really hard to make those 2 schools the best high schools in Tampa. So moving along, let's talk about, I went to Potter. Yesterday I went to Potter as a reading. You were reading, and they took there, and Mr. Young, your daughter, was there, and Lynn, you came. Yeah, it was great. We had a great reading. I got there a little late, but you know I always do what I need to do. I gave the class an ice cream party. Oh, you did? Yeah, yeah. I had two classes, so I gave them money for an ice cream party. So they're happy, you know. But the one thing I got to say was different. Those kids were very attentive. Yes, they were. I didn't read the book. I spoke about being a school board member. And they were very interested in being school board member. You know, they were there. Everybody was paying attention. The one thing, though, I got to get them on, they don't do their homework. They're not doing their homework. So when I'm giving out the ice cream party, the kids that do their homework, they'll be the ones to get the ice cream. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Member Washington. Member Combs?
Thank you, and I'll keep my comments really brief. There's just been so many great events. I know I finally was able to make it to the district wrestling tournaments in my area at Sickles High School, which was amazing to see. And a big shout out to all those FFA. I went out to the fair, and I really just went out there to see the students work and our display, and to see all the FFA students, see some competition. It's amazing to me, you know, seeing these students who've had these animals forever and then being able to showcase all their work and all their time. It's amazing to me. I said, boy, you know, talking to some kids who have these cows and what they have to do walking through and what they have to take care of them. It's a lot of commitment, a lot of dedication. So great job with those students. And again, for the STEM fair, a big shout out to Michelle Wyhagen. I hope I said her name right. Maybe Michelle W., the DRT, who's in charge in our elementary, middle school, high school science supervisors. So many people. I know that Stephanie Tannenbaum from USF had over 75 USF pre-interns, and UT had over 20 interns. So there were, I got the behind the scenes tour, and there are literally hundreds of judges, because we had almost 2,000 students put in projects. So it takes so much work, so much organization from the entire team. I got there early to see all the judges. I was amazed at the amount of work, district people, everybody really committed to making sure those students feel really special, and the competition, walking around to tell those students, like, I'm not a judge, because they were all so serious. And it's just amazing to see those students. So great shout out to them, and congratulations to everybody who competed in the Black History Bowl, Clark, Williams, Robinson. And, you know, I was looking forward to, celebrating with member Vaughn because her son was the team captain and she was so nervous the whole time. I was like, don't, she's like, he's kind of intense. I don't know why. And I was like, Mom, you know what I mean? Okay. See, I can say that because she's not here. Anyways, but the kids did an amazing job. They were so serious and so committed to learning their history and sharing that. It was just a great day. So thank you to everyone who's working so hard. This is, we still got a ways to go. We're not even close to spring break, but I know everybody's working very hard. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Combs. And I just want to share with you, Pablo, if you could share that flyer. I just want to request the support for this book drive. It benefits the Florida Coalition of Higher Education in Prisons. Many individuals incarcerated at a young age and never had the opportunity to complete their education. So by donating the books, you can help provide these individuals with tools that they need for personal and educational growth. So your contributions can make a significant impact. And, thank you so much, to Superintendent Ayers for considering this initiative and, being able to work together to create a positive change. Yeah. I donated 10 big boxes of books. As a matter of fact, I needed to rent a U-Haul truck to take the books to them. Yeah, but it's just an initiative that to be able to get them some education and to be able to get their feet on solid ground. Superintendent Ayers, I want to circle back to something. I know that I get numbers along with Member Rendon because we sit on Safe and Sound when it comes to some ongoing concerns, but I keep getting phone calls from our community members, and I know that your staff works hard in remaining focused on issues, but I feel that maybe we could kind of tweak some things to support our schools and students. I know that there's been a going on discussion, but it needs to happen sooner than later regarding reporting data. Specifically discipline data. I know that I receive it to be able to support some of our community agencies, but let me give an example. Gary Brady has provided some information like on PM1, PM2, data. Is it possible to provide this board with detailed discipline, like a report card, for us on a quarterly basis? That way we kind of know what's going on, as far as, but it'll provide us like a clear snapshot for not just for us, but also the community on a quarterly basis on what's happening with the discipline. I know that our schools are working hard and can benefit from additional support that the community may be able to also provide. But because I know we can't do this on our own, and it takes a partnership. But we want to support our schools. We are out on the schools all the time, but we need to know where to provide that support. And I know I constantly get phone call after phone call after phone call, and I know that I'm always on the phone with Dr. Grays or always on the phone with Marcus Murillo. But we need to find a way to provide a consistent platform, where we can have some data that would be impactful, not only to us, but also to allow the community and parents to get a clear understanding where we stand and what areas our schools, our parents need to support, And because we also have a lot of community support, and maybe they could also see where they really need to put a lot of support for our students. Student behavior is not the responsibility of one person or one division, in your cabinet, but we all have to work together, in order to provide that student success. So if that can happen, that would be amazing, at least for this board member. I know I use the data. I know that Member Rendon does as well in some of the meetings that we attend. So, what do you think about that?
Sure. So I would just add that this is the updates for PM1, PM2 that Mr. Brady gives. That's part of our reading updates. It's part of the board's suspended agenda. So that is the reason we bring it to this board on a quarterly basis, or whenever there is updates that Mr. Brady feels as chief academic officer he needs to bring to the board. But we'll always have it when we're just following the board's will with reading updates as per the suspended agenda was added. If it's the will of this board to have added on the suspended agenda discipline updates, we can absolutely do that and provide it in the same format. But if it's the will of the board to do that, we will absolutely bring that forward on a suspended agenda item. We can do that, and then we can also have Dr. Graves send out updates. He can meet with you and kind of get the feel on the when you want those updates to happen. But if it wants to be on suspended agenda and presented similar to Mr. Brady does, we can absolutely do that if that's the will of the board.
Yes, that way, the community has a clear understanding of what is happening, and it's not a guesswork.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And seeing no further questions or comments, this meeting is adjourned.